Hi, I'm Dan Richardson and thanks for watching. Well, we've got a little bit to get through today. Got record low interest rates at 1.5% and we'll discuss how that's going to affect the market as well as answer some viewer questions. Let's not waste any further time and we'll get on with today's show. We're currently sitting at an auction clearance rate for the last week at 67%. With 58 properties going to auction in total. Now that's down on the same time last year on relatively the same amount of properties going to auction. What does that mean? Probably nothing. It's just a slight fluctuation, and those numbers are traditionally pretty high for the Adelaide market anyway. What we are noticing nationally though is a little bit of a softening in private treaty sales and a strengthening in auction sales. Some more interesting data that's come out is that new listings in South Australia have dropped by about 10 or 11% on the previous year, but overall listings are up, the new listings are down. What does that actually mean? It means that it's a great time to obviously have your property on the market because there's more buyers out there than there is new property. So what that is doing is increasing demand from the market. There's more numbers at open inspections, and depending on where you live, owners in some areas are experiencing great results either at auction or private treaty just from general sales. So if you are considering selling, now is obviously a very good time. We have the spring selling season just around the corner, and I'm predicting that this year will be very similar to last year, where many industry experts thought that there would be obviously more new listings and more property coming on the market than there actually was. An increase in the number of listings coming onto the market. However, it probably won't be like years gone by where September 1 hits and obviously a high influx of property hits the market. So that's really where the market sits right now. Let's get into a couple of viewer questions that we received over last week. Yeah, a lot of talk going on about that at the moment. Record interest rates at a low 1.5%. But look, I'll remind you that interest rates have been at a record low for quite some time, and we haven't really seen what was feared, which was that low interest rates would overstimulate an already buoyant property market. In Adelaide, property prices are up 0.9%, unit prices have actually fallen, so we haven't seen any overstimulating of the property market due to those interest rates. The banks are saying, or senior economists at some of the banks are predicting that interest rates will fall by another 0.5% over a couple of decreases to record low again of 1%. What effect that will have? Well, obviously it's too early to tell, but I think at 1.5% looking forward over the next 6 to 12 months, I think things will stay very much the way they are now. It's very stable, but I don't see it overstimulating the current property market. Should you sell now or in 12 months? Well, that really depends where it is that you live. South Australia is broken up into many different markets, so it depends on where your actual house is. But look, you know, capital growth is obviously at its lowest, I think, since 2013. So if you're holding out for sort of further capital growth, the likelihood of that occurring over the next 6 to 12 months is probably low. I would say to you that if you are positioned and ready to move now is as good a time as any to put your property on the market. There's as I said, low numbers of new listings hitting the market, meaning there's more buyers than there are property, and that's favouring sellers. So good prices are being obtained out there in the market, depending on, as I said, where you live. But if it's by way of looking at if you are going to make more money in capital growth in 12 months' time, then I would say now is probably as good a time as any, provided your circumstances are right and you are ready to move. Yeah, first home buyers. Well, look, a lot of first home buyers are saying that they've been priced out of the market, but I think a couple of things have changed over the years, and that is obviously first home buyers' expectations of what a first home should be. Look, my recommendation to if you're a first home buyer looking at getting into the market is first realise that the majority of your first homes aren't going to be your homes forever. So, look at what is affordable, and with the recent drop in unit prices, they become really, really affordable. Unit prices have fallen over the last 12 months. The Adelaide CBD has a really high number of units being constructed at the moment, which is putting downward pressure on established units in the city. It's putting downward pressure on other developments. There's also great government consents for purchasing apartments, purchasing off the plan or new dwellings, as well as grants. So it's a really good opportunity if you do want to get your foot into the door for your first home. Look at potentially a unit as opposed to a established property. Again, for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to email them to me, daniel@leadestateagents.com.au, or find me on the social. Otherwise, we'll speak to you next time. Thank you.